Obviously, the first trip is often the most memorable, and it is certainly in this case. I mean, we just had such an extraordinary time, not just being in Ethiopia, but being with the other teachers. I mean, we had teachers from Jefferson Middle School, from Ellington, from Georgetown Day. We had kids from all over different areas, and it really made for just an unbelievable. I wish I could put in words what it was to have this sort of eclectic group all in a strange land doing similar things, and there was sort of a natural bonding that went on. And speaking of that, I have to chuckle again when I think of the soccer game that we played in the stadium. I guess we were in Waliso, and it was very wet, and the field was half underwater, but Hugh was in charge, so that meant the games would go on. And I remember all of us, coming back caked in mud. I believe we didn't embarrass ourselves, but I remember Hugh also took a really serious leg injury back home from that trip. And that was really nothing to laugh at, but it showed the kind of guy Hugh was as a leader.
One more thing. The students that you took, has anything developed from that trip as far as their lives are concerned that you're familiar with?
Yeah, the interesting thing that's happened is that every single one of them has been back to Ethiopia. Philip Cohen has been back, I believe, 8 or 9 times. His family now works closely with Dr. Hodes. Philip is, after graduating from Yale undergrad, is currently applying to medical school. And he and his brother are working on a pediatric oncology program in Addis. This is outside of Dr. Hodes, but this is at Black Lion Hospital. And this project, they've begun their own NGO with the family, and they are working extremely hard to set up a fellowship that will encourage doctors to go to Addis, both to be trained and to work in this pediatric oncology ward. And that is literally happening as we speak. Laura Zaks, who was one of our original participants, has also been back. She and Philip led a trip while they were at Yale that did the same thing that we do with the Horn of Africa program, which is essentially to replicate that original LSE trip. And so they took a bunch of students from Yale University. Taylor Ray, who was on that trip, also ended up going back and spending a summer at Project Mercy and teaching there. And it was even longer. I think she might have spent a semester there. And then finally, I know Max Loeb, who was also on the original trip, he went to college in Canada. I think he went to McGill, and went back to East Africa and put together a documentary.